We have a new TV show planned in Alien Universe. It is called Alien Earth, and this TV show will be the first show of Alien Universe created by Disney. Disney owns rights to this franchise, so we hope that we will have many more movies and TV shows in this universe. Unfortunately, Disney. Let's say Disney bought many famous franchises like Predator, Alien, also Marvel and Star Wars specifically, and many of these new TV shows are at best mediocre. So they are mediocre, they are rather weak, and not many of them are even good, and there are none which are very good. But right now we have a new thing, a TV show, because the latest installment in Alien Universe, Alien Romulus, was a standalone movie. I didn't watch it, but I heard that it was also a very mediocre Alien movie. And right now we are preparing for a TV show. We don't know how many series it will have, but it is called Alien Earth. And I'm focusing on this trailer specifically about two very famous YouTube channels, Angry Joe Show and Critical Drinker After Hours, because Angry Joe did a very positive reaction to that trailer, and Critical Drinker with his friends did a very negative review of this trailer and of this new franchise. Critical Drinker think that it will be a very woke, women only or women strong, transitioning, left, progressive movie. And Angry Joe was very positive, to the point that some of his statements were really unbelievable. And I'm leaning toward Critical Drinker concerns, because we see that first of all of these new TV shows look really fake. When we, for example, saw a trailer for Predator Badlands or any other new movie, we see that they are created. We know that they are created in a digital way. So the looks of these movies are so bright and like laboratory clean, that even dark or grainy things or grainy light is very light. So we see almost every detail. It was specifically funny when we saw this new Predator Badlands and this new Predator young Predator face. It was completely visible to the point of silliness, of goofiness. People laughed that the new Predator looked like Michelle Obama or Zendaya. So it looked really weird, and all of these movies are too bright, and too digitally created to be believable, to show us the real world and not the computer world, because of course in sci-fi genre we see things which don't exist in our world. They are science fiction things, but if you create a specific lightning effects, climate, specific form, you can did this movie like a science fiction movie but believable to happen. And because of this new formula of very bright, very beaming like light focused on in every corner of the scene, they are really they are clean to the point of being in a dentist room or in a laboratory room when everything is bright. There are no shadows, no dark corners, no mysticism, no mystical energy. Let us say this, because for example, if we are watching in a theater, when we are watching or in a cinema, let's say in a cinema, when we are watching movie, when the movie begins, we only see bright from the screen. We see the light from the screen, and everything else is completely dark. We almost cannot see even people who are sitting next to us. And in these movies, all is so bright that it it looks completely fake. For example, when we want to, let's say, watch a TV show or a movie, or we are playing computer games, most of us, let us say this, want to play in dark environment, because dark environment can then we are not distressed or disrupted by the environment, and we only focusing on the world which is presented in our monitor, in our computer, in our TV screen. So for example, I think that I liked playing computer games in the winter, because days are very short, it's very dark and very climatic. So for example, all these very famous computer games like Witcher 3, Mass Effect, Baldur's Gate 3, other RPG games, they have their own unique climate. If everything is dark, there is night, and we can focus only on that thing. And most of the movies, let us focus on the movies presented by Disney. They looked, they looked like whitewashed, and be just so bright that there is nothing else. And because of this strange and different phenomenon, the form of these movies is completely garbage. They look like trash. When we, for example, compare first Alien and second Alien to the Alien Romulus, but let's say, well, Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, they still had some advantages, but later on, for example, franchise of Alien versus Predator, or Alien versus Predator 2, or Predator movies, or even duology of Ridley Scott, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant. They looked completely whitewashed, and because of that, because of the form was bad, the form was silly, the form was completely unbelievable of these movies, the essence was lost. The essence was lost. And here I see the same example, because we see that in this trailer that derelict ship, some unknown spaceship crashed landed on Earth, and there is a team of commandos leading by a woman who is like a hybrid of human and a human and a robot. And I heard that because there will be an issue that we have cyborgs which are humans and robots, and we also have robots who are a little bit humans, and so on. And I'm not sure if focusing on that problem of robots or cyborgs, or their soul, if they are human, if they are not, is the most important part. Because droids were existing in Alien universe, but they were rather servants to greater causes. For example, in first Alien, the cyborg was ordered to save the specimen, the alien specimen, regardless of cost of the lives of the crew members, and brought it to Earth. In second, he was an advisor to Marines and to Ripley and the commandos, and the top brass of this mission. So the cyborgs, or mixture of human element and robot in human, was not very interesting and also not very important. And here we have a woman who is probably transferred to a robotic body, like a human, and her identity, her soul is transferred to the body of a robot, of something which is robotic. And I'm not sure if this focusing on that subject is really interesting or important, or can be revealed in interesting way. And of course, we also have concerns that most of these women, two women, that this woman looks really silly. She didn't look because let us focus on that. Ripley was never very let's say beautiful or sexy character, but she was definitely a woman. We saw that she's a strong woman, but she's still behaving and is a woman. She's not a man or something in between. She behaves like a woman. And here we have this strange phenomenon, maybe pumped up by the culture, that women shouldn't look like sexy objects in movies, but I think that they also should look good in movies. Yeah. So if, for example, we have a main character as someone who will be a heroic figure, she should look. If not beautiful, she should look very dignified. She should look like a hero. And here we have her hair, her because her body was really like difficult to even the bodies of her guards, or these marines, they were really weird looking, let us say this. They were really weird looking. For example, when we saw marines from second from Aliens, from second installment in the universe, we saw that they were the marines, they were commandos, they were buffed, they were goofy, but they were also rather packed, rather ripped. So it was believable that they are really a marines. And here we saw these soldiers, or these henchmen of her, of this android woman, and they looked a little bit samey, like they looked like created by an AI, not by a human director. So I'm also worried that people are so lazy in those days. They use these techniques, these digital techniques, to not focus on details, and details are very important in the movies. For example, when we saw different miscellanea of marines, like feathers, or some heart even, or some pictures on their armors, everything was prepared to show us that they are ragtag band of badass marines, and they were believable in this role. And here we see that everything looks almost the same. The cuts, the scenes, the behavior, and everything looks almost like a theatrical play, not a movie play. Because in theater, we see that, for example, actors are a little bit over the top in their roles. But in movies, the situation is different. They should show us the real behavior of normal people in our world. And unfortunately, Alien Earth presented rather medical lightning, special effects, and so on, but Angry Joe was pumped by these effects. He scored them very high. He scored them very high. But unfortunately, I think that Critical Drinker had a better general taste of what this TV show can be. Unfortunately, because I didn't watch Alien Romulus, but I saw that they completely didn't focus on details and didn't focus on the essence of the movie. This was the problem of new Alien movies directed by Ridley Scott, like Prometheus and Alien Covenant, that they were completely out of touch of this universe. So, for example, I want to give you one example. In Alien universe, when we see first Alien and second Alien, it's a future when technology rules everything, and there is no place for mysticism, for questions about existence, for questions about metaphysical world, about God, godly like creatures, and so on, religion. No, there is just a technology, colonization of new worlds, technique, and so on. And third Alien, which was weaker than first and second, and third created this cult of prisoners, and many aspects of Alien 3 was very like almost like spiritual, almost like mystical. And even though the movie was medicore, this new look at alien problem and alien universe problem was something new, and the movie was okay, was decent. It was not good, but it was okay, it was decent. And for example, Alien Resurrection, which is not very likable by fans and by critics, I liked because it was a little bit like movie for teenagers. So the problem of aliens were not so important, and more important was snappy dialogue, action, and goofy characters. But it was also for me okay, decent movie. Even a little, I would say, a little bit better for me than Alien 3. But they when you look, for example, on the directors of Alien Resurrection and Alien 3, Alien 3 was Chris Carpenter. Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection had very good directors, both of them. So, for example, Alien Resurrection was directed by I think it was a French director who created the City of Lost Children, and so and we see that even though the movies were okay, medicore, but medicore decent, but they still have their own vibe, very own vibe, and here all these movies. When, for example, I saw Alien Prometheus, Alien Covenant, then I saw the trailers and the reviews of Alien Romulus, they all looked almost the same. And I see that they are digitally created. Aliens are digitally created. Everything is digital. Everything looks the same colors, lightning, saturation of colors, and so on. So I'm not sure if directors are a little bit tired of directing movies, of creating something new, something which will be difficult, more challenging, but also more rewarding for them and finally for us as fans. I don't know. I cannot answer to that, but the trailer showed us that, unfortunately, because the good thing is that the universe is expanding, and Disney knows that Disney brass, Disney top management knows that Even for example, I didn't, let's say I didn't like, for me, let's say Predator Prey was okay movie, but they know that still I will watch another Predator movies, even to compare them to the first ones, which were the best. And they know that if they create another Alien movie, I will compare it to to the best Alien movies, so they will create another Alien movie. And as fans, we should be glad because the world is expanding. But unfortunately, I see that quantity is, uh, let's say, maybe not more important for the Disney, but more achievable. More achievable in a easier way. In easier way to do another movie and another movie and another movie, even if they are mediocre. And they should focus on quality because Disney has resources to invest in very good special effects. They can invest money to show us how properly a new good looking movie series should look. So let me know in the comments what do you think about this new Alien Earth trailer. What else can we say about this universe, the expansion of the universe, the digital look of this trailer, and if we agree more in Critical Drinker or more in Angry Joe. I would say that so far I agree more with Critical Drinker.